have bathed in these stories for the last hour and a half or so, however long it's been, and are maybe full of feelings. I'm mostly full of feelings, so maybe you're also full of feelings. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask, I think that they're a wonderful resource to think through all kinds of things.
Great job, everyone. Thank you. I'd just like to know what's next for y'all. You know, do y'all have as far as y'all all working together on something?
I wanted to do, I met Rashida, right, and then I heard her read at a Laser Life and was like, what? And she had her ideas have influenced me in an irreparable way or so. I don't know what words to use, but I wanted to, I can say this, condense it. I wanted to write a thing because I'm all about cyborg, chimera, fracture, fluid identities with no thwarting binaries. And Rashida always talks about quantum possibilities and perceptions and things like that, and they just go together. And I was gonna write a thing about what they both mean, and I was like, oh, we should do a zine where and I haven't even talked to y'all yet, so you're so busy. Where we're like, I love my friend this thing because, and then or something like that. Yeah. And then oh right, we're going. If you're in Rhode Island, you like Rhode Island. There's a Rhode Island Independent Publishing Expo coming up in March 27th and 28th. That we've been invited to be special guests at, and it's lots of independent comic book artists, predominantly artists and illustrators, I think. So we'll be up there. And then in the summer we might do work with what is it? Bartram Garden, we might have a thing, and then this group, but I forget their name all the time, which is a shame. But they're a youth group in North Philly. Art Factory. We might work with Art Factory, but I just started thinking about that if Chrissy's in the audience on us.
Also, in general, a lot of our events are just sort of wow, that's a good idea, and we just it just materializes in our sort of dream space, and then we actualize it. We call up each other and say, hey, can you provide some resources for this? So a lot of it is very kinetic, very spontaneous, and not planned and logged super far in advance. But in February, I think the 20th, we're doing another Laser Life reading. And if you're not familiar with Laser Life is a queer sci-fi reading that basically I came up with as a way to further express the sort of crazy batshit ideas that are floating around in my head. And, obviously, many of us lack resources and the budgets to make $1 million movies and publish, books, comics, zines, magazines, and stuff. But all of us have access to pen and paper, and we can create worlds. And so my idea was to have queer people have a voice, where our existence is not only celebrated, but projected into the future, into a vision where we exist, and not just exist, but we are empowered and we are in control of the universe. So that's why Laser Life exists, and we're doing another one of those in on February 20th. So that's Laser Life's home is always at the A Space in West Philadelphia. It's really important for me to have it there all the time, even as we grow. So I'm not sure. It might turn into something else and morph, but for now, that's where it is. And also, we're doing another episode of Chrome City, which is a sort of retro-futurist dream world that I created, and with the help of the friends from METROPOLARITY. Basically, we're doing that on March 21st. So be on the lookout for flyers and evites for that. So.
Yeah, and that's just to sort of piggyback off of what 18 was saying. We have not yet sort of written something all as a group. Sort of what we tend to do is one of us will throw out a prompt, like with our sci-fi, political sci-fi thing, and we'll all write around that prompt. So I'm hoping as a group that we can explore and find a time to come up with a combined group piece. You know, and it's also hard to do as well because we all have different writing styles, as you saw, and sort of focus on different themes, but there's actual natural connections between our work anyway, so hopefully we'll get the time to explore that further.
I did a thing called Street Theory last year, which was supposed to be like, I guess, institutionalizing the idea of like critical theory and like bringing it to the community and having people come out and read their own critical theories, whatever that is. It didn't matter what it was. It was really beautiful, and Art Factory was there, and More Mother Goddess was there, and
It was a potluck too.
and it was a potluck because it was on May Day. And so yeah, I'm hoping to do that again this year at some point, hopefully during the summer when it's nice out. I'll look out for that.
I have a question for the audience. Something that happened when we started to like do stuff in spaces was that people would say, I don't really like science fiction, but y'all made me rethink that. And so I'm curious, as a humongous science fiction nerd, how many people like, not how many people, but like, do y'all like science fiction?
Yes.
Yeah.
But y'all are in everyday life. I mean, reading the future now, like, it's every story. I just feel like I'm like walking to work, or like, you know, between something, like out on the sidewalk, and it's like so immediate. And I think like there might be some people out there who like, you know, sci-fi, like space opera, and like it's like one is the other. But there's kind of like there's a transition between the two. Like we're always in space and outer space, and on some level, you know, it might be like in our head or in like some, you want to call it metaphor. But you know, mediating the two, like in a style, you know, is something that all definitions of quote sci-fi would, you know, do differently. And I think this is a very much like everyday life. Like, I gotta go clock in, I gotta like wake up, you know, like all that stuff. Like I mean, I'm feeling it.
Well,
Yeah.
as I say, we don't shy away from like space operas and giant spaceships and time traveling and aliens and stuff. That's like, you know, essential to what we're doing. We like envision ourselves as the superheroes, as the time travelers, as the cyborgs, you know, and we try to, you know, we're being made into the aliens, so we're trying to like not just use it as a metaphor, not just use it as a lifestyle, but embody it and embrace all the weird, quirky, shitty, nerdy aspects of science fiction and say, we can be a part of it and we can help shape it. We can help shape the present and help shape the future. But like you said, Quinn, we still have to go to the bodega. We still have to deal with, you know, being catcalled. We still have to deal with, like, you know, trans misogyny. We still have to deal with racism. We still have to deal with